I want to take a moment to welcome everyone to the Watch This Shit podcast. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. My name is Seneca, the movie professor. With this podcast, we're going to give you the definitive decision on whether you should go view a new movie release or not. It's real easy. If we say, watch this shit, stop what you're doing and enjoy some good cinema. If we say, don't watch this shit, avoid it like flying Spirit Airline. Or don't. Do what you want. It may be fun, or it may be the reason you learn the company doesn't give a damn about you as a person. You don't want to listen to us. You put your life in your own hands. August. Oh man. August was a rough month for movies. The only movie I loved for the entire month was They Clone Tyrone. Definitely go check that out. That's a definite watch this shit. Everything else was disappointing. We are hoping that September brings us some better offerings. Looking at the list of upcoming releases, it doesn't seem likely that any of them will be amazing. The only one I have positive expectations for is Outlaw Johnny Black, which opens on the 15th. For the month, at least, we are starting out with something I mildly anticipated: Equalizer 3. Or Denzel hacks the system and uses cheat codes and still doesn't increase the game's difficulty level past recruit. The Equalizer series has always walked a strange path, in my opinion. Its lead is Denzel Washington, one of the greatest thespians to have ever lived. The franchise is based on an old television property from the 80s. I don't personally know anyone that has ever seen an episode of it. Most recently, they started another television series with Queen Latifah. And again, I don't know anyone that has ever seen an episode. The only reason I've seen all three of these movies is one, it stars Denzel Washington, and when he's in a movie, you freaking watch it. And two, it was released in theaters. This one is no different. The premise of the series is much more fitting to television. The protagonist travels the country week to week, helping those that are at the mercy of unfortunate circumstances brought on by bad people. They are a former government operative with a certain skill set that allows them to be living weapons walking amongst us. It fits right in with the kung fu's and the incredible hulks of that time period. A story that can be repeatedly told by switching locations each episode and pretty much following the exact same formula in every script. In one of the screenwriting books I studied, they considered this to be the perfect show. The fucking material writes itself. I like to think we have evolved beyond this type of storytelling with inventive tales that have been seen. But unfortunately, Hollywood will always try to get the last bit of meat off any bone, even if it has long since spoiled. Denzel Washington, yeah, I know he's playing a character, but he's so big. Unless he's playing a real life person, he's Denzel Washington. He has taken on an assignment across seas that leads to uncovering a bug lice situation. Oh, you guys want to act like you don't remember Pixar's A Bug Life? Um, so the grasshoppers came and were oppressing the ants, had them working for them, paying tribute, and generally treating them poorly. Same thing. But this time, it's in Italy with humans, and these motherfuckers don't know Denzel Washington will soon kick off their asses to death. Somehow the mission goes somehow the mission that he's on goes wrong, and he is forced to live in a small and frankly beautiful town until he heals. While there, he grows to love the city and feels a kinship to the inhabitants. When he sees the way they are mistreated by the gang, and the gang makes the fatal mistake of trying to intimidate him directly, he sends them all to hell. They totally go about things the wrong way. Denzel doesn't rush to get involved and quite possibly would have continued to mind his own business and just help the townsfolk when they needed him. These dummies confronted him directly. After that, they could have rolled the damn credits. Not even two full scenes later, they were all dying and begging for their lives. The moral of the story: leave people the fuck alone. All right, very basic story. But the director, Anton Fuqua, knows you aren't here for the story. You want to see him and Denzel team up again. That part is fine. Denzel brings the same fire and conviction that he always does. Also, an added bonus is the team up with Denzel and the little girl from Man on Fire. Again, yes, I know her name is Dakota Fanning, and she's an adult now, but she gonna always be the little girl from Man on Fire to me. Fuqua directs some gorgeous shots. The spiraling streets and steps of this southern Italian town add a special ambiance to the on-screen interactions. Something as simple as Denzel taking a walk becomes cinematic. The stores he passes and the people he meets inject the mundane task of traveling with a sense of wonder. Earlier, I said Washington was running around the movie on recruit difficulty with cheats turned on, and I was not kidding. At no time in this film was his character ever in a situation where it was even remotely possible for him to die. There was a little situation at the beginning that can easily be explained as Denzel drops his guard around little kids. He could walk through a rainstorm of bullets and not even receive a scratch. While it made for some cool scenes of villains getting ruthlessly murdered, I didn't have a sense of excitement for the action scenes. The one that I did enjoy was the opening, which technically wasn't even an action scene. It was the aftermath of Washington coming through and laying waste to all opposition. There were other characters that traveled in his wake, and as these characters walked, they saw the results of his action. It was easy to put together how he disposed of each of their comrades. It was very horror movie-esque in style. When you have basic plot points or story beats, the best way to add flair is to tweak the formula a bit. While Fuqua could have shown the entire setup and followed through to deliver on that situation, he used restraint, and it ended up being my favorite aspect of the film. I ain't gonna hold you. This is an easy recommendation, especially seeing as no other major releases are on the horizon. Watch this shit. Hanging out with Denzel Washington is usually a good time, and this movie still has that feeling. This isn't going to be anyone's favorite Denzel movie, but mediocre Denzel is usually leagues above any other actor's best work. Thank you for listening to another episode of Watch This Shit. You come here for the realest take on new movies, so make sure to follow us so you're not left in the dark on whether you should check out a movie or not. If you haven't seen this shit, what the fuck are you waiting for? We told you what to do. Go ahead and watch it. And make sure to check us out next time when we review the Netflix series One Piece. And good day to you.